Carrie Brogan says, I have a real resistance to waking up. Carrie, I'm going to recommend that you stop for a second and look at that thought. I have a resistance to waking up. Can pure conscious awareness, what you are, have a resistance to itself? Do you have any resistance to being aware? Are you resisting knowing that you are? Or is it just always there? Isn't even the thought, I am resisting waking up, itself not at all resisted? It's already appeared. Awareness has already let it in. Right? The I this thought is pointing at is an image in the mind, a picture of someone feeling certain sensations in the body, and then a story happens that says, oh, this is me resisting waking up. You are the awareness that is aware of that I, and of the resistance, and of the story that it's resistance to waking up. Is that awareness of all of that in any state of resistance whatsoever? Now really look closely. Just because a thought comes, and it comes in first person, doesn't make it so. Who is that I referring to? Is that another way of looking at it is, if you trace that thought back to its origin, is its origin coming from pure awareness, or is it coming from the belief in a separate self? Could pure awareness say, I am resistant to being aware? Couldn't do it. So this thought is not referring to you, because you are pure awareness. You are consciousness. It is referring to an image in the mind of you separate from awakening, trying to get there. Are you following me? Is everybody following me? Because that's the image we have. Remember, I said in the beginning, non-duality starts from the premise that you are already right now that pure awareness. Not someone on a spiritual path to get there. Non-duality is the direct path. It is not the progressive path. It is not the path of refinement and maturity and all of that. It is the path of direct seeing. Isn't this entire thing happening to awareness? Are you not aware? So that thought isn't true, because it refers to a sense of self which is not true. It is simply an energetic pattern of thought and emotion and sensation that arose within the system and became identified as me. So the mind holds on to that image of itself because it can't grasp the non-objective nature of the true self. But that's what's viewing it. Could this thought exist? I have a real resistance to waking up. Could that thought exist without you being aware of it? Awareness doesn't need to wake up, then, does it? You're already awake because you're already seeing it. You're simply believing a thought that says you're not. But it is the awakeness that allows that thought to exist. Is everybody following this? It's very important. It's very important because it's such a subtle thing. This is the direct path, not a progressive path. The direct path is is the understanding, the direct recognition right in this moment of what is actually your experience. And your experience is that of being aware of everything. And without that awareness, nothing exists. Whether that thought be referring to pure consciousness, or if it's something completely removed, a completely different version of yourself. Does that help, Carrie? I hope so. I hope it helps everyone. It's very subtle. We have to become very adept at noticing how the thoughts revolve around a particular self-image. It's very subtle. The image itself is a compilation. There's not a thing, a separate self somewhere, and you can point to it, like the man behind the curtain, right? Producing all this stuff. The sense of a separate self is just that. It's a sense. It's a feeling. It is kind of an assumption that thoughts revolve around and then implement, but there's no separate self there. It is a ghost in the machine. So you're not somebody on the path. You are already that. Now that the mind cannot grasp. It'll go, what? No, that can't be, because it's looking for its evidence of it, right? Especially if you heard any non-dual stories and the like, the minds go, well, isn't it supposed to be, heavens parting and angels singing, and I can manifest anything I want. I can wave my hand and produce a Rolex watch or something. No, it's none of that. The mind wants that. It wants that kind of proof. It needs to have evidence. You don't need any evidence of your true being. Christ was once asked about doing a sign, and he said a perverse and faithless generation asks for a sign, and no sign will be given them. What he was pointing to was that tendency of the mind to want to glom onto some circumstance. It's looking for some kind of visible evidence in order to be convinced. But of course, as you all know, it won't be convinced. It'll then start looking for some other evidence. Your mind is not a help here. Your mind is not going to be of any benefit to you in this go round. So put your attention on the awareness of these thoughts, and then it doesn't matter what the thought is. It's very easy to spot. Oh, pure awareness, the great I am, cannot possibly say I'm resisting this. It can't happen. Or I'm afraid, or I'm lacking. Those thoughts do not emerge from your true being. They can't. So they emerge from the false sense of being. And seeing through that is what Satsang and non-duality is all about.